tell me everything about your favorite Mandela effect. If you are not aware of it, the Mandela effect is a psychological phenomenon where large groups of people recall a specific memory inaccurately, often related to historical events or pop culture. At least that's the current definition we are given. I wanted to do a video about the Mandela effects that were debunked in order for us to focus on the ones that are still the most mysterious. As an observer angel, I'm Mitri by the way, I focus mostly on recreational human activities and the occult and not specifically psychological or physical phenomenon, but I can't stop looking into the Mandela effect. So I wanted to find some debunked one, but honestly, the more I'm looking into it, the more foggy and shady it becomes, and it's like I'm losing my sanity, honestly. So, for example, we'll dive into 3 of them, starting with the most regular one, let's say that. C3PO is supposed to have a silver leg, and we are told that if we are not aware of that, we are delusional. So what I did is finding old images of the first movies, and we can see some kind of silverish tone. But I can see it on his shoulders too, by the way. But really something subtle. So subtle that I'm not surprised that toys and figurine creators in the 70s did themselves the mistake of representing C3PO completely gold. Completely. Because, excuse me, that's really not a clear color difference. Then, one Mandela effect a bit weirder is the case of the Monopoly man. Sorry, I forgot his name. But I know that, for me, he always had a monocle. How do you remember him? We are told that he never had one. But the more we look for information about that, the more we see that the US and the European territories, and I bet that's the case for other areas as well, might have different versions of the Monopoly. And the European one, Junior Edition, definitively had the Monopoly man with a monocle. You can see someone found an old bill from an old box, and he has a monocle. And that probably explains why in Ace Ventura 2, the Monopoly guy in the movie has the monocle as a distinctive accessory. But the thing that doesn't sit well for me is that as I am in France for more than 2000 years now, I really remember in the 90s, Monopoly boxes, not junior editions, with a monocle. So I don't know what to think about that. Also, we hear often that if we are picturing a monocle on the Monopoly man, that's because we are confusing him with Mr. Peanut. Mr. Peanut, he has a similar top hat and a monocle, but I never saw this character. I bet that's a commercial character for the US market. I never saw him in France. So, that could explain for some Americans, but to me, it doesn't explain the Mandela effect. And we have the fruit of the loom, cornucopia, logo, rabbit hole. We were told, including by the company itself, that the logo never had a cornucopia. I swear I remember it. I bet you do remember it too, right? But we are told the opposite. And I really believe they are gaslighting us, but that's still a polemic I see still today when I check Mandela Effect content. So about that, I really recommend watching Dim Lifting. I hope I am somehow pronouncing it right. TikTok videos about that, because she did dive deeper into the subject and she found, for example, articles from the 70s mentioning the cornucopia logo. So she has some really factual elements about that. Please tell me your favorite Mandela effect. We see new ones all the time. I didn't take the time to think about the Britney Spears headphones, for example, but I do remember it. And I will be delighted to look into that. Bye, guys!